This is how we do it.
Go! Play Brotherhood! Play Brotherhood! Nick are out of control. They will crash the airwaves with a microphone. So sit down tight and listen close. All the ladies now take off your clothes. Play Brotherhood! Play Brotherhood!
I thought This Is How We Do It was going to be our brilliant segue, but then we had nothing to say about that. So.
Well, how we do it, you saw the commercial for it, right?
Howie Mandel's This Is How... Is it How We Do It or This Is How We Do It?
It's how we do it.
Okay. But he does say, This Is How We Do It.
Yeah, yeah. Well, they sing the song, This Is How We Do It, and then he goes, This Is How We Do It.
Right, but it's not... Montel Jordan's not out on stage singing this song.
No, it's like a house band. It's like, oh man, I watched the show and I couldn't wait to talk to you about it. It's like in a really big theater, and he's standing in front of kind of a big screen, and he works the crowd, and the audience members are just made up of like you know, you can just imagine walking around California or something, and they're handing out tickets to a show.
I have walked around California, and they do that.
Yeah, and especially
People were trying to get me to go
one.
Jimmy Kimmel live, too, when I was in L.A. last year. Yeah, they were passing out tickets on the street.
Yeah, so, you know, that's how they get in there. And so he's working the crowd, and it's real ridiculous, and he wears, like, all black, and his fist bump thing is out of control. I saw him on Conan, and I said he doesn't need to do it, and of course he did, and it's out of control, and he does it with everybody now. Anyway, so it's...
You say a fist bump thing. I guess I don't know what just a fist bump?
Yeah, just
but
a
he
fist
insists
bump.
with everybody.
Yeah, he does it with everybody. It's like his thing now, and everyone talks about him being a germaphobe and stuff like that.
What was his thing back in the 80s when he was just a lame stand-up? Wasn't it? Wasn't there something with a glove? Like he would blow up a rubber glove?
I don't know. Maybe that's just one thing we saw him doing.
I'm unfamiliar with my Mandel stereotypes.
Yeah, Bobby's World. That's all I know.
Yeah, Bobby's World.
But yeah, so it's more, I guess people want to refer to it as punked, but that punked worked because it was watching interesting people get pranked.
Not always interesting,
not
but
always
at least
interesting. Famous people,
right.
See how they react. And this is just, it's like candid camera, and it's ridiculous. Basically, there's nothing unique about the show except for he can say, this is how we do it.
Is that unique?
And with every prank he did, he would say that to the person like they're going to know what that catchphrase means. But this show has never been on the air. This is the first episode. And I don't know how they don't recognize him.
Well, he's wearing a wig.
The same wig every time, and come on. You can't recognize him the whole time.
What kind of wig is it?
It's like a beatnik, kind of hang down in your face, black hair wig, and he wears a little...
And he doesn't ever vary the wig up?
No, not that I saw, no.
But you've only watched one episode?
Yeah, that's all there's been.
Okay.
But the pranks, some of them are so ludicrous, like it's always someone's auditioning for something, and this is where they get pranked. So that's how they can explain the cameras being around, I guess.
Okay.
And like there's two guys auditioning to be weathermen, and they're like, we're going to put you in the action. So they're holding like this huge vacuum hose, and they're blowing it in their face so their cheeks are flapping, and he's spraying them with a spray bottle directly into their eyes. And it's just so ludicrous that they would keep going. And obviously they're being pranked. Obviously, how can they think they're really auditioning to
and
be
obviously
a
that's
weatherman?
Howie Mandel in a wig right there.
Yeah, exactly. So they keep going and going and going, and then finally it always ends with like them almost being fed up, and he just keeps saying the same thing over again. Oh, don't you want to be on TV? Oh, yeah, man, I was auditioning for the show, but, oh, you were here auditioning for a show. Well, you didn't know that you were on the show? You were on the show. And then he'll take off his wig and go, this is how we do it. That's the show.
But they just stare there, blank-faced.
And he's such a bad host because, like, he tells this one kid in maybe the only semi-good prank they did, at the end he's like, well, you are on a TV show. You are filming a TV show. This is how we do it. And he's like, what if I told you that? And he's like, oh, I tell you, I'm going to piss my pants right here. And then Howie Mandel just looks at him and goes, what if we told you that? Like, he just answered your fucking question, and you just have nothing to go to. But that one was funny. He had his son. It was this kid being on like a blind date type reality show, and Howie Mandel's son was feeding him lines through a Bluetooth in his ear. The girl he's talking to, everybody in the restaurant is all extras. He gets him to say some really offensive jokes like, I'm not Fred Flintstone, but I'll make your bed rock. And
is that offensive or is that just lame?
Yeah, and then what time do your legs you have really nice legs, what time do they open? But he would say it, and the girl would act horribly offended, and then go, I'm sorry, that's not very funny. He was a total nervous, shaking little dork. And then, like, this other girl's boyfriend confronts him, and then the girl who he insulted brings out the manager, who's Howie Mandel, and he rips off the wig and says, this is how we do it. And then every time they shoot back to him in the theater, and they've got that house band playing it, and he says, this is how we do it.
Man.
And then another prank.
So that's one of those where that had to have sparked from where it originated was somebody came up with the idea of a title for a show.
Yeah.
And they built a whole
I had a friend whose theory was that was how most TV was made, with shows like Crossing Jordan.
But how do you explain MASH?
I guess the crop of TV shows that was coming out at that point. And then the prank they did that was just kind of afterwards, it's still not cool. Okay, you pranked me, but that doesn't make everything you did okay. It's this complete just white trash couple, and they're auditioning to be in a mouthwash commercial. And they're a real couple, and they're laying in bed. The woman weighs about 275, 300 pounds. The guy is also a big fat guy, and they're just redneck. I don't know how they can believe that they're filming a commercial. But so they've got them in a bed together, and they say, share a long, passionate kiss. And it's disgusting to watch. It's full-on tongue, and it's just ridiculous. And then the casting director, there's like the casting director, and then I guess the cameraman, and Howie Mandel's the cameraman.
Sure he is.
And then, but the director, he's like, let me show you what you're doing wrong. And he climbs into bed with the woman. The woman is in on the prank. They're pranking her husband. And
so it sounds like a lot of thought goes into these pranks. Yeah. Like almost everybody's an actor.
Big stages, big elaborate things. Yeah, big budget show. So the director gets in bed and starts making out with this guy's wife, which is extra disgusting now because she's so huge. And this is like a little bald guy. And it progresses further and further. He gets into the bed. He gets down to just his boxer shorts, and he's in bed with the wife. And
this isn't even a prank anymore.
And they keep doing more takes.
This is harassment.
Yeah, they keep doing more takes of the commercial, and they're making out every time. And the guy's just watching it because he thinks they're going to be on a commercial, but he's getting fucking pissed. And then the guy reaches under the sheets and makes it look like he pulls off his boxers and throws them on the floor, and then like climbs on top of the wife. It's horrible. So the guy's mad. He's pissed. He's done. You can tell I have to pull the plug early, pull the wig off early, and tell him this is how we do it. And no change in emotion. He just looked at his wife and said, "You're sleeping on the couch tonight."
Yeah, whatever. He said that for the camera.
Oh, my God. He beat the fuck out of her when they got
That is not true. He was happy for the exposure. You know why? Because he signed that waiver that allows his face to be seen.
They were hoping for a shitty commercial, but now they're on a CBS or NBC primetime show. So.
And it only lasts for 6 months, but man, will those first 3 weeks be huge ratings.
Tell me there's not fights and like arguments, and that was a bad idea afterwards, and the conversations between him and his wife.
Yeah, it was a long drive home.
This guy was making out with his wife.
That's I don't know. Like, that's not even a joke anymore. Like, that just hits bad taste, really. Yeah. It's kind of sleazy, like Cheaters and all those other shows. And even The Bachelor. We were watching The Bachelor here at Margaret's tonight where we're recording. And I just don't like the idea of watching a show where there's one guy or let's say one girl and 25 other people that are all there for the same reason, and you're going to sit there and you're going to sit in a hot tub with 8 of them
Right.
and French kiss all of them individually in front of the other ones.
And this
like
is
that's
during
not
like,
hot
getting to know
me.
you period.
Yeah. That's not hot to me. That just reads slut to me, and then I'm grossed out.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Yeah, I agree.
I don't like it at all. I could never be involved in a reality show of any kind, except for when we take over The Amazing Race.
No, Big Brother. I want to be on Big Brother.
Yeah, Big Brothers.
I told you our weird thing will be that we have to convince them that we're not, in fact, brothers.
Yes. You keep pushing for that, but...
Yeah. Don't you hate how every time I have an idea, they pick up on it and they're not funny? Obviously, they're not listening to us. But I said we should be on The Amazing Race. And
Yeah.
Big Brother.
Yeah,
And
Never
now
Not Funny is another podcast.
They're going to do it. They're going to get on the show.
Of course they are, because they're household names at this point.
Yeah, and they
They're
have
making money
agents.
for what they do. Let's pretend like this is our job,
Okay.
just for tonight. Let's pretend like all the money we make is from this. Wouldn't that be something?
And this is our apartment.
Yeah.
Play Brotherhood.
Awkward yet awesome.
PJ got 4 stories. Tell me which one you want to start with.
Without hearing the names?
I was just waiting for you to say anything when I threw that at you. No, let's start with the first of the 4.
Okay.
Actually, let's start with the second of the 4th. All right, I'm not gonna read you the headline. We're gonna surprise you and the listener.
I don't like that.
You don't like that?
The headline's better, yeah.
Okay, here we go then. From MSNBC. Death row inmate pulls out eye, says he ate it.
Wow, okay. This is some Oz shit right there.
Where was Oz? Was that a fictional town or did it?
It was Oswald Maximum Security Prison. I forget where it was supposed to be.
Was it Houston by chance?
I don't think so.
Okay, because this
New
is
York,
Houston.
maybe.
A Texas death row inmate with a history of mental problems pulled out his only good eye, which I love right there.
If he pulled out the bad eye, that's not really making a statement.
Yeah, and told authorities he ate it. Andre Thomas, 25, was arrested for the... Oh, there's a picture of him, too. Was arrested for the fatal stabbings of his estranged wife, their young son, and her 13-month-old daughter in March of 2004. So 2004, 4 years ago, he was only 21 when he killed his wife, their son, and his daughter. Their hearts also had been ripped out.
Wow. Okay.
This is the first time I've read this, I'm going to be honest with you, but I saw the headline.
Where did you... Oh, you just found this?
It was linked to me. Oh, I in fact need to give credit to my office mate and a band member. I'm going to plug his band if I can. Oh, Black Houses. Anyway, yeah, my office friend Patrick, he often sends me links through IM, and he's like, you should use this on your show, and if you talk about it, fucking credit me. So there you go. But I'm going to read this last part again. Their hearts also had been ripped out. I think that's not a metaphor for anything.
No. Yeah.
He was convicted and condemned for the infant's death, but not to death. While in the Grayson County Jail in Sherman, Thomas plucked out his right eye before his trial later in 2004. A judge subsequently ruled he was competent to stand trial. So you think he did that just for
So
the
he had
psychotic measure?
He had 2 good eyes and pulled one out.
Right. This is before his trial.
Right.
I'm going to gouge out one eye, see where it gets
some
me.
people would believe that he was doing it. That's committing yourself to an insanity plea, and apparently he kept getting crazier. So
Yeah, this is the same guy that if he were a woodsman and a tree fell on him, he'd take out that pocket knife. He'd cut to the bone just to get out of that situation.
he cut out his eye.
Yeah, exactly. On December 9th, a death row officer at the Pulaski unit of the Texas Department of Criminal Justice found Thomas in his cell with blood on his face and took him to the infirmary. Thomas said he pulled out his eye and subsequently ingested it, agency spokesman said Friday.
It's gross.
What's
It's really grossing me out, buddy.
Do you want me to stop reading?
We could ask him what his stomach looks like.
I hear it goes good with fava beans and whatever the other thing is. Thomas was treated at East Texas Medical Center in Tyler. Then he was transferred and remains at the Jester unit. Oh, I guess just one eye. I thought this built to him tearing out both eyes.
Oh, yeah.
Never mind. Moving on.
Still interesting story.
It was for a minute.
Thanks, Patrick.
Here's another one I believe came from our good friend Patrick. Man covered in feces attacks flight attendant.
Yeah, I read this.
You did?
Yeah, in fact.
Also Houston.
Yeah, I think I linked you to this,
Oh, did you?
Patrick.
I didn't mean to give him false credit.
Yeah, I think I did.
An investigation is underway to figure out why a mental health patient was traveling alone on a Continental Airlines flight from Houston to Omaha, Nebraska. Passengers said the man left the plane's bathroom covered in his own waste on December 26. Let's go back. You've been on very few planes.
Right.
I've been on quite a few just in the last couple of years. I've never taken a shit on a plane.
No, I don't think so. Me neither.
Not-
Never a long enough flight.
Not only that, but if I were to take a shit, I would not take a shit on myself on the plane. But apparently that's what this guy did. The commuter jet had one flight attendant who moved passengers forward to empty seats and kept the unkept passengers in the back row. So they were on this shit.
Yeah.
Because disease spreads, especially in a contained environment such as that.
Yeah. Holy shit.
Ugh. Stacy, a passenger on the plane who requested her last name not be revealed, said the man attacked the flight attendant. I hear all this ruckus and yelling. I turn around and the poor flight attendant is on his back and the guy is like punching him.
Oh, gross. Covered in shit.
And they put the like in there too. The guy is like punching him. Stacy said other passengers came to the flight attendant's aid. It's almost like a scene out of a movie, Stacy said. There were two male passengers
What
behind.
movie?
I don't know.
Train Spotting? Train Spotting or Dogma?
Yeah, what's a good Dumb and Dumber? Good shit scene in the movie. There were two male passengers behind me that got up and kind of got the guy off of him. The poor steward, he got a black eye.
Yikes.
When I see a steward, though, a man doing a woman's job, I want to punch him too.
This is, what about a woman doing a man's job?
Ugh,
Pisses me off
yeah,
even more.
even worse. You are the Don Draper of our day, PJ.
Get on the rag and hit the red button, Hillary. That reminded me of a story of when Nick Keogh was on a really long flight to France once, and he said that the plane was moving around, and he got at least piss, if not shit, also all over the seat.
I think it was just piss, but he pissed everywhere and didn't take the time to clean it up.
To clean it up at all. Exits the bathroom, and the hottest girl on the plane, which he already does not do well with, goes in right after him. I mean, I think you got to bite the bullet, look weird, and then just go, never mind, and then close the door again and clean it up.
I thought I was done, but I'm not.
You don't just keep walking.
That's almost worse, though. What's worse? Because the piss isn't necessarily his fault.
Yeah, I know, but you clean up after yourself. You're on a long flight. Other people are going to use the bathroom.
I know, but what I'm saying is if you went into a plane bathroom and there was already piss on the seat, are you going to take it upon yourself to clean up somebody else's piss?
Well, then you're fucked. If you're a girl, you got to sit down on it, right? She had to clean up his piss.
That's true. Those airplane bathrooms, man. And I hate to get all Jerry Seinfeld, but there are a lot of features I do not understand in an airplane bathroom. And I also kind of want to have sex on an airplane.
Really?
Why not?
With whom?
I don't have a specific girl in mind.
I don't know. Stuff like that. I don't know. I don't get into stuff like that. Not usually.
Well, you make it sound like it's some kind of weird fetish. It's just something you can say you did.
Give me a bed of roses and I'll be fine.
Bed of Roses with
Christian Slater?
I wanted to say John Bon Jovi. Is he in that as well?
I think Marissa Tomei, too.
Play Brotherhood.
PJ and Nick keep it comedy.
11 gay bars get letters threatening Riken attacks. Are you familiar with Riken?
No.
As a poison?
I am
as a way to get rid of the homos?
I am familiar, if I can just jump in real fast.
Sure.
With people hating gay people in Capitol Hill, though.
Capitol Hill, Seattle, Washington.
Right. I recently had a guy at the bar at work who is the second guy sitting at the bar who I eventually end up talking to about the show, and then about Seattle. They're both lived in Seattle.
Who don't you talk to about the show anymore? I love to bring it up.
Not a lot of my customers, actually. But this particular guy, who I gave him the card, and he should be listening. Hey, buddy.
Nice.
When I tell him that I stay with you on Capitol Hill, the first thing always is, I don't know how you can deal with that. All them faggots running around.
It's crazy.
Both guys said it just like that, like too many faggots. And then this guy was saying if his buddies from Texas were up here, they wouldn't care what's accepted in Seattle. They would be shooting.
It's amazing. Just, I'd say, within the last year and I live in Capitol Hill, which is a very gay-friendly area for the most part. I mean, it's known for that, and it has been a long time. We were talking about even when we would visit Seattle as teenagers, and my particular area of town where I happen to live now, we would go visit there just thinking of it as the gay part of town, because that's what it is, and that's what it's been.
We were there with my friend Chris once, remember, and he went down to Wife Beater.
I thought you were going to say he went down...
He was wearing a wife beater, and that guy had huge arms, and the gay guys were loving him. It was hilarious. I thought it was one of the funniest things ever.
Yeah, so I'd say within the last year, you hear so many stories about gay couples who are very open and very hand-holdy, which is fine. They should be. And Capitol Hill is the one place where you think you can get away with it. But just in the last year, there's been a rash of, like, gay couples being jumped and just like being slandered as they're being pummeled for being fags, basically.
That's amazing. And people are coming to Capitol Hill.
Or, yeah, they live there anyway. And they're probably just like, I can't stand it anymore.
Probably to get a blowjob from one and then turn around and beat up another.
Absolutely. Boogie nights. Fucking donkey dick.
He just watched him jerk off.
Yeah.
In fairness.
That's true. That's not gay. That's a Saturday afternoon. So I read this article, or I hear about this, and there are 11 gay bars in the local Seattle area that all at once got threatened. So that's what I'm reading about here. The anonymous letter says, I have in my possession approximately 67 grams of Riken, with which I will indiscriminately target at least 5 of your clients, meaning gay people.
Right.
I expect them to die painfully while in the hospital. A 12th letter was sent to the alternative weekly The Stranger, according to this website. Does it really say that? That letter says the paper should be prepared to announce the deaths of approximately 55 individuals. So they're already projecting a number.
Wouldn't you just do it?
Do what?
Just do the Rikening instead of sending out a threatening letter.
Yeah.
If you were going to do it.
And who sends letters anymore anyway?
Yeah.
Send an email. We get the idea.
Although I'm sure very scary to receive the letter.
For those Seattle listeners that do enjoy cock in their mouth, please be aware because the letter lists the bars as the Elite, Neighbors, Wild Rose, Cuff, Purr. Purr is that lesbian bar we walked by today. Seattle Eagle, Our Place, which is a big one around here. I've been to a few of these, by the way.
I've been to that one.
Oh, yeah. I think I've been there with you, strangely. Rebar, Seattle's Madison Pub, which I went to. Madison Pub is a bar pretty close to where I work, and I went there, pretty much frequented there for 8 months before I knew it was a gay bar. And then a friend of mine that went with me who's also not gay, he's like, it's cool that we go here. And I'm like, yeah, it is cool. And then he explained to me, no, because we're not gay, but we support the gay community. I'm like, yeah, sure, what does this have to do with my beer? And sure enough, the entire time that I'd been going to this bar, there is a huge rainbow flag outside of it, and I've just never taken notice. Because I'm drunk before I show up to most bars. So anyway, in a statement, the Seattle Police Department said it takes the threat seriously. It has seized the letters and is processing them and is coordinating efforts with the FBI and other federal agencies. I'm picturing like a Zodiac type scenario.
Yeah,
like the guy taking the time, cutting off his fingertips so he leaves no prints or marks.
You are getting your movies confused.
I know what I am doing.
Every time, though, they contact the press after they've done something.
Yeah.
This guy can go beat up the next Brandon Tina character in a field somewhere and move on with his life.
Yeah, and feel good about it.
And get blown by guys, I guarantee it.
Isn't that funny? Like
it's like they like
you say that as a joke, but I'm sure most of the time it's true.
I'm serious because I think that someone will do it and then immediately be like, "Oh, get off me, faggot!" Like, and then just so aggressively, it's like I just did something so gay that now I need to do something to counteract it by attacking someone who's gay.
No, absolutely. I agree with you.
But maybe a guy writing letters, I don't know. Maybe that guy is just like really against gay people.
Or has some fucked up idea about who his God is and what his mission is.
Yeah.
And I really don't know the story. The U.S. Center for Disease Control Prevention says Riken is a poison found naturally in castor beans that can be deadly if purified and then ingested or inhaled. So this is something I never heard of prior to reading this article. Riken, do you know what that is?
It sounds
I
familiar.
mean, we just explained what it was, but it doesn't sound familiar to me. But it seems like if I were threatening an entire community in a area as big as Seattle, I would use something that people were more familiar with. Watch out for my fists.
Well, maybe, but if he's telling the truth, it's what he has.
Yeah, and maybe because it is so specific, that's what makes it scary. He's like, I got Riken. You don't even know what that is. I got it.
What if he had that drug from the Minus Man? That stuff was powerful.
Oh, yeah.
It's like 1 grain of it got on your skin and
that's
you were dead.
True. The Minus Man was a book and a movie for those that don't know, but he was a serial killer that he enjoyed killing people, but not in a grisly manner.
No, yeah,
that's what I always respected about the Minus Man.
He did it. He didn't want there to be any pain. He just wanted.
No, he just wants to watch their bodies shut down, little by little. A bartender at the Elite, which I'm not familiar with that bar, said he read the contents of the letter through the envelope with a flashlight after being warned not to open it and found the experience a little horrifying. I expect to feel safe at work. Being here is like being at your house, a very gay house, but this doesn't make you feel safe. Elite manager Kay Hansen said the bar has been informing customers of the threat and warning them to make sure they don't leave their drinks unattended. There's a couple of reasons for that warning. On the one hand, you don't want to overreact, but on the other hand, you want to make sure your staff and clients are safe, of course. Stranger editorial director Dan Savage, I don't know if you're familiar with him. He's a pretty well-known Seattle personality. He does a what do you call it? A love column, like an advice column in The Stranger.
Okay.
And then he also has a podcast. Basically, he's a very openly gay man, very outspoken. Like, he uses the word fag a lot. Like, he can get away with it. But basically, he just takes relationship questions. It's kind of like Loveline, and he takes the Adam Carolla role.
This
and that's
is his podcast?
Yeah. He'll take callers' questions about, I got herpes and I don't know why. And then he'll make some crass joke and then also give advice. And that's basically what he's known for. Anyway, he's making a big huff about this whole thing because he is very gay. He said he didn't take the threat too seriously. I get a death threat every day with Savage Love, which is the name of his podcast.
Way to throw it in.
Yeah. Referring to a sex column, he writes. They made sure to clarify. I guess I didn't have to. I could have just fucking read it. Savage said the letters didn't contain any religious references. That's what I was kind of wondering, too.
Yeah.
Making him wonder whether the author was an embittered gay person, as he suspect. He said that if the threat was designed to ruin business for gay bars, it may backfire. Staffers from The Stranger made a point of visiting gay bars Tuesday night to show their support, and others may be inspired to do the same. So really, we're gonna dangle that carrot in front of his face, whoever this guy is.
Yeah.
Like, fuck you, come on and take us.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, I get their right to stand up. And
why don't you write into Savage Love?
What if he does? Or what if we write it as him? Yeah, it's me, the Riken killer.
Wait, what if he writes up? What if he Rikens us for calling him a closeted gay guy?
You keep saying Riken as a verb. I like it. Okay, so we're moving away from Houston. Going to the Down Under. You know it. Former Outback employee.
Yeah.
Let's hear your accent.
I can't do it. Nope.
Is it just because I put you on the spot?
No, I can't do it. I can't.
Because you're the man of one annoying voice.
I tried to make someone laugh by using an English accent the other day, and it was just embarrassing.
Did you say governor?
No, I didn't.
An Australian woman accused of setting her husband's genitals on fire because she thought he was having an affair has been charged with murder. Which indicates that he may have died as a result of her passion.
I got it. Lorena Shrimp on the Bobbit.
Prosecutor said 44-year-old Rajini Narayan confessed to neighbors that she set her husband on fire on December 8th after she saw him hug another woman.
What can I say? It's just so weird to think of that there's Australian trash. You know what I mean? Like just depressed, horrible, awful, fat.
I'm not sure.
Is there a picture of her?
There's not. There's a a picture that they created of a guy laying there, no face shot, and a lit match next to him.
But does it make you like ever think that doesn't seem weird to you that there's like people in Australia that are like homeless on the streets begging
Not
for
at all. I
cigarettes to
imagine
share?
there are homeless people. What is your glamorized
I don't
idea?
know.
Did Baz Luhrmann ruin this for you?
No, I just imagine that like it's just weird to me that every place is pretty much the same. I don't know. It just all seems so different to me. Never mind.
I don't know.
It's a total little kid attitude.
Yeah, I gotta. While we're on the subject, do
Like,
you think the color blue to me is the color blue to you?
Oh,
That's
God.
what you're fucking asking me right now. I don't even understand your question. Of course, there are homeless people in Australia.
But okay, but let's talk about this real fast.
Okay.
If let's say you weren't colorblind, let's say you're not colorblind.
I very much am. Continue.
Okay, so the way you see the color blue,
I
right,
understand the concept and the reason that question exists.
I see it in a completely different way, but we would still both
we
always,
both register as blue.
Mhm.
Yes.
Yeah.
We've all contemplated
That's
this.
why you can point at it. Okay, that's fine. That's all I wanted to say.
All right. Okay, so she set her husband on fire after seeing him hug another woman.
Mm-hmm.
When's the last time you hugged a woman that wasn't your wife?
I try not to, but
I know you're not a big hug fan, but it happens.
yeah.
And a hug can be interpreted any number of ways.
Yeah, I'm gonna say a week or two ago I ran into someone I used to work with.
She hot?
No,
Is she hot?
she might listen. No, she's not hot. She's very
The mics are off now. Is she hot?
very large, sassy black woman who did show me her boobs once.
Oh, I think I know who you're talking about. She's a MySpace friend?
Yeah.
Holla. She was initially charged. Not this woman we were just talking about.
Right.
This woman was initially charged with endangering life and arson, but the charges were upgraded to murder after her 47-year-old husband died from his injuries last week. So he struggled before he died.
Yeah, man. It must have been on fire for a long time.
It can't have just been his penis that's on fire. I'm thinking his whole body must have set up into flames to
Yeah.
kill him.
Yeah.
So she must have. She must have confessed in order for this to have come out at all. Although
I'm
they're
sure.
always, it always amazes me when a hospital blows up, and then all of a sudden the arson report comes out, and they're like, "Yep, it was obviously due to this cigarette butt." And I'm like, "How did you narrow that down?" So maybe it's not that unusual. I don't know that they would be able to trace it back to his penis as the start of the fire.
Yeah, yeah.
And how many fires have you had start there?
I think that that she probably admitted it fully. As soon as it started, he should have stuck it in her ice crotch.
Apparently, this guy did tell neighbors that she was a jealous wife, but she hadn't meant to kill him. Wait, he wouldn't have told them that from beyond the grave, explaining his wife's actions. I apparently read that wrong. Oh, I'm sorry. It was the prosecutor said that.
They have prosecutors in Australia?
You were so amazed about everything. Let's go there. Let's do a live remote. Told neighbors that she was a jealous wife, but she hadn't meant to kill him when she doused the sleeping man's genitals with an alcohol-based solvent and then set him on fire. Sure, she just wanted to teach him a lesson. Much
right.
in the same way as the aforementioned Bobbitt.
Yeah, Lorena Bobbitt. Same kind of thing.
Yeah, absolutely. She just needs to show this
Except
guy.
I think he was full-on cheating on her.
And then he did that porn.
Oh, yeah.
What the fuck?
Long John Silver.
Is that what it was?
Yeah, because his name was John Wayne Bobbitt.
Yeah. Man, that guy, I don't know. What if that guy became like a respectable politician or something now? After the porn. The penis is one thing.
I'm going to guess
Your wife's crazy. That happens sometimes.
I'm going to guess like reality show on the Country Music Channel.
On the Country Music Channel. Interesting.
They do some on there that like Bobby Brown pops up in, Maureen McCormick.
What is Bobby Brown doing on the Country Music Network?
What was it? It was on Country Music Television. They all lived together and took care of like a ranch style hotel together. Him and Maureen McCormick and I think Tiffany.
Of Tiffany fame?
No, Tiffany Vanneman, our cousin. Yeah, and they took care of a hotel and they got in fights and stuff. And Bobby Brown was crazy.
Okay, so we have a quote from the wife. I just wanted to burn his penis, so it belongs to me and no one else. I didn't mean for this to happen.
Why does she want a burnt penis?
I don't know. I guess if I can't have you, no one can, because this all goes back to a hug. She witnessed a hug.
We don't know what went on before the hug.
Sure, we do.
We don't even have a picture of the lady. We have a picture of a cartoon and a
No,
match.
but I can guess that she's not attractive and obviously insecure. Probably always unattractive, but so unattractive now that she knows that he's been banging around on her.
Yeah.
And, nothing against the guy. The husband jumped out of bed and knocked over the bottle of alcohol, causing the fire to spread. Well, your own fault. You're bad.
Yeah.
You're
should have
B.
been calm and cool.
He jumped out of bed and knocked over the bottle of alcohol, causing the fire to spread and resulting in 1 million Australian dollars. Any guess over under on what that is American? Because I have the figure here.
Oh, no.
1 million Australian dollars would turn out to be 711,000 American pesos.
Does that mean that the American dollar is not worth much? Or
Not
is
as
that-
much.
Or does that mean the Australian one
Yeah.
isn't worth as much?
I don't know what it means.
Never mind. I'm sounding like an idiot right now. Let's go on.
Anyway, $711,000 of damage to their townhouse and an adjacent property. She poses a substantial risk to others given her flagrant offending. Witnesses also heard the accused make references to using a police officer's gun on herself and references to whether she should be alive at all. Oh, boo-hoo.
Yeah. Who cares?
I set my husband ablaze.
Some in
Pity
some
me.
weird Australian prison if they have them.
Everything about Australia is weird to you. And you worked at the Outback. That's probably as real as Australia is.
I heard that there's
That's as different as Australia is
there's
from
like
America.
huge fucking spiders in Australia that jump out of trees and stuff on you. That's what I heard.
Where did you hear this? On a Saturday morning cartoon?
No, from our cousin Amy. Like she knew someone. Maybe I'm thinking of South Africa.
Well,
I
you
don't know.
you heard about Steve Irwin.
Yeah,
If not,
rest,
I hate to be the one to break the news.
rest in peace.
Yeah.
His movie was just on cable the other day, and I wanted
His
to
only
watch it,
movie,
but I
which
didn't.
would have to be the Crocodile Hunter movie, right?
Yeah, and I didn't know that his wife starred in it with him.
Oh, yeah. Was she there to witness his death?
I don't know. I don't think so.
Oh, no, I'm thinking of the Grizzly Man. But his girlfriend actually got mauled along with him, right?
I don't
Grizzly
know. I
Man?
never saw Grizzly Man.
Oh, man.
I don't want a no payoff ending. Knowing that you can hear the screams but not being able to.
Well, whatever. Do you need to hear that?
That's what everyone says. I think I would.
Anybody that's unfamiliar, Timothy
think
Treadwell was a
I would like
fucking
to.
freak. And that's what I liked about this movie. I just watched it again recently. It's a documentary. Timothy Treadwell, I think he had some kind of nature show, PBS type channel. And he would go around and frolic with the bears and became friends with them and did it for years and years. So
There's people who do that. There's
Sure there are, yeah.
Sigourney Weaver lived with the gorillas, and now there's a wolf man.
a wolf man?
Yeah, there's a guy right now. He has a show on Animal Planet.
Oh, I
and it's,
misunderstood when you said wolf man.
Yeah, my apologies. It's called I don't know what it's called, but he lives with the wolves.
Did Abbott and Costello meet this wolf man?
He puts like raw meat in his mouth and lets the baby wolves eat it out of him.
So fucking, I just don't get it.
Yeah.
Get a fucking goldfish. And even that, like, you got to clean out the water. No good. But going back to Timothy Treadwell, the Grizzly Man, this guy, fucking fruitcake, first of all. I don't buy that woman was his girlfriend ever. But regardless, so he'd go and live with the bears for, like, months at a time. And he'd videotape it all. And he was, like, almost, like, turned on by them. I hate to say it, but like he's so into bears that he would just talk. He would start crying on camera, talking about how he wants to be a bear. He just wishes he could live amongst the bears forever, and he'd get really emotionally invested. And then he got fucking eaten by it, as he deserved to. But yeah, the big scene in the movie was there's no video of his death, but there is audio of the incident, so you can hear him being torn apart basically. But we can't. The director, Werner Herzog, who's an artsy fuck anyway, so he doesn't allow us to hear it, but we see a family member's reaction listening to the audio in the movie. And I don't think you need it. I think the movie's plenty fascinating without it, honestly.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know.
Check it out.
I think every guest we have on the show now, we should ask them in 140 characters or less, what are you doing right now?
Don't you? Since we started our Twitter account, yeah, you are restricted to 140 characters, which I think is good in a way because you don't. I always tend to overdo it, like when I'm writing something. I include very many unnecessary words.
Yeah, like when you cut it down, it looks better.
Yeah. So Twitter forces you, in fact, to do it. So I'll have thought of some brilliant thing that I want our 28 followers or whatever to read, and then I'll post it and I'll realize, oh shit, I got 40 characters I got to delete. How can I get the same joke or point across with getting rid of that many letters? But you find ways to do it. It's really great.
Yeah, and then it's like kind of losing all spontaneity, but by the time it gets out there, it always feels great.
Yeah. And we've
Give
garnered
me an at reply any day.
we've garnered quite a few listeners through Twitter, I think, and that's amazing and awesome. And for those that are familiar with the show and not Twitter but do have one, our Twitter. Let me start again, PJ. Twitter.com/PlannedBrohood.
Planned Brohood, not Brotherhood. That won't fit.
Come check us out. We won't just follow anybody.
That's right.
You got to earn our Twitter respect.
That's right.
Twitter respect. What else we got in the pipeline? T-shirts? Probably not.
No. Although we got some T-shirts, which maybe we'll post a picture of. And
I don't know if I want to. You mean pictures of just the shirts or me in the shirt? Because it's a white shirt and my physique is less than flattering at this point in my life.
We could just take pictures of the shirt, I
Okay.
guess. Just make people jealous.
But yeah, we did order shirts just for ourselves.
Yeah.
Make
so,
us feel like superstars in our own bedrooms. That didn't come out at all like I meant it to. My God.
we got our second batch of stickers, and we got a double order this time. Made everything on the sticker a little bigger, a little easier to read.
Sure. So we got stickers. We got a lot of requests for that first batch, so they went pretty quick. Plus, we just been slapping them up around town.
Yeah.
Pissing a lot of bartenders off. But, yeah, so we do have stickers. info@plannedbrotherhood.com is where you can reach us for that, or on MySpace, myspace.com/plannedbrotherhood. I assume if you're listening to the show, you know one of these websites already.
Yeah.
But if not, that's even better somehow.
Yeah, that's true.
Although it would mean all of our network squandering was for nothing.
Yeah, so I guess if you need a refill on stickers, but please, be putting them up somewhere. I know someone that said he stuck one on the nicest car in the parking lot he was in, so...
That's no good.
Hey,
That can come back to bite us in the ass.
Why? We didn't put it up. We fucking hand the stickers out. They're going to put them wherever they want.
That's true. And since we got the stickers, and I walk around Seattle all the time, so I'll throw up a sticker every now and again. And if somebody happens to witness as I'm putting up the sticker, I feel kind of awkward about it. And then at the same time, I'm like, I hope they take a look at it after I leave, memorize the website, or hop on their iPhone, and then figure out that I'm the co-host of this fucking thing.
Yeah.
And that's a professional-looking sticker.
There's
And
so
I'm a
many
professional-looking
stickers.
man.
I get nervous putting the stickers up in Yakima. My wife gets really nervous, thinks that that the police are gonna go so far as to get onto the MySpace page.
Is that right?
Listen to the show, find me out, and email me about it. To which I'd say, we hand out a lot of fucking stickers. I don't know where people put them up, even though I'm the one putting them up all around Yakima. And unlike Seattle, they're like the only sticker on the poles that they're on.
Yeah, Seattle, it's a totally different scene because everybody's got stickers and everybody's got flyers. Everybody's got a band they want to promote. And so we're just one of thousands of things that might or might not catch somebody's eye.
Yeah, but it's fun to be a part of it.
Yeah.
And count them out on the way home.
And I don't like to devote a lot of time to shit like this on the show, but I do also want to say it'd be nice to get another iTunes review for those that have listened and liked our show, because iTunes is really where it matters, I think. And we do have a few reviews and a recent one even, a Twitter follower, I think. So thanks for that. I'd just like to see one, and I don't want to write it myself because somebody's going to figure it out.
Yeah. We shouldn't write ones ourselves. But yeah, even with no stars, I would like to see just more reviews on there.
Yeah, definitely. I think that gets word out within iTunes, which is a whole other forum that we haven't even really got to explore. Aside from our show being available there, and we thank you, iTunes.
Yeah. When I go on and I'm downloading like a iPod application off of iTunes, there's always like 450 reviews for like the free version of Pac-Man. So people are out there writing reviews.
Oh yeah, just one.
Yeah.
Just one each.
Yeah. Shit on us.
I know we have more listeners than we have reviews right now. That's
I wouldn't
for
mind
damn
one
sure.
from Stacy Doan.
Pretend lesbian.
That's right.